emotional night, too.
Like the other, and I have some of the best friends in the world, and friends around me that were around me before any of this ever happened. Ricky Hooter was my roommate in college, and he sells concessions, and Robbie Kikuya is my road manager's assistant, and he was my roommate in college. So there's a lot of people that I went to school with that worked for me, and old friends that I've known since I moved to town. Two or three guys in my band have been with me for about 5 or 6 years now. So there's people that know me. First time Robbie was ever at my grandparents' house, he met my grandparents. She made like these two big she made two pot roasts. And they're on like a fixed income and Social Security and stuff like that. So we were over there in college in a small house, and we're all eating, and everybody gets through eating except Robbie, and there's a whole pot roast left. So we're sitting there talking, Robbie's steady fixing plates. Get through, finally he ate the whole pot roast by himself, all the potatoes, all the beans, everything. So my grandfather plays jokes on people all the time. And peach cobbler. He calls him over and says, you know, Robbie, we're on a fixed income, you know, and we haven't got a whole lot of money, and that was my lunch for the rest of the week. I just wanted you to know that I wasn't going to have any lunch for the next week. To not have to put up some kind of front in front of them, and can just be myself. That makes it so much easier and so much more enjoyable. It makes everybody's life so much happier out there that I can't tell you what a difference that makes to have that many close friends working with you on the road. On our days off, the band's usually doing things together a lot. We play pool. We'll stop and play pool, or have a beer or two at a pool hall somewhere and play some pool, or go ride go-karts. A lot of times we do spend a lot of time playing guitar, sitting around singing old songs that we like to listen to and like to sing, and clowning around with some of them, and let some of the guys that don't sing, and boy, that's an experience. Let me tell you.
No one dared ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
I guess it's hard, but you know, this is what I chose to do for a living. I mean, if I didn't like what I was doing and didn't like doing that, then obviously I'd be doing something else. And I'm sure there'll come a time where I don't enjoy it as much. But right now, I mean, this is what, you know, why I'm living. This is why this is what I do. This is how I support myself, my family, and how I make things happen for me that I've always wanted to happen. And I can't imagine not enjoying doing it.
It blocked the wind, it stopped the rain. She'd never leave that one. So she can't be really gone. The shoes she bought on Christmas Eve, she laughed and said they called her name. It's like they're waiting in the hall for her to slip them on. So she can't be really gone.
This 1995 episode featuring Tim McGraw is the best of CMT Showcase. CMT Showcase. This 1995 episode features Tim McGraw.
We don't try to, you know, make it a science. We don't try to make it brain surgery. We go out there and just try to have a good time and try to be relaxed and loose and let everybody see that we're enjoying what we're doing. We know we had a good night just because of our reaction towards each other and the crew's reaction towards, you know. And a lot of times, and a lot of people tell you this, if you're out on the road and somebody's having a good night, I mean, not necessarily us, but anybody. And it just kind of everybody starts kind of filtering towards the stage from backstage to watch the show. So, excuse me. So when we're having a good night, you can kind of tell the other bands are around watching. And the same thing when somebody else is having a good night. We're always, it's a vibe. I guess musicians and artists kind of know when everything's clicking and sounding good, so everybody wants to listen. So we do the same thing. If somebody has a good night and we're on the road, we're right there watching too. So A lot of that has to do with the crew and the backstage people kind of let you know if you're having a good night, 'cause they all get pumped and excited about what they're doing. The interesting thing happened the other day. We were running. We were in, I guess it was Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and we got out and ran. And so we followed my steel player, and he has a terrible sense of direction. And we ended up, we were going to do like a 4-mile, 5-mile run, and we ended up 6 miles out and didn't know where the hotel was. And we stopped at a gas station, had no money, and dying of thirst. We had no money on us, and we were trying to figure out a way we could talk this gas station attendant into giving us some Gatorade and promising we'd come back and pay for it. And we couldn't get the nerve up to do that, so he gave us a cup, and we were drinking water out of the bathroom, and then a car pulls in with CMT stickers, I mean, all over it. I mean, back-to-back CMT stickers. And Jeff, my keyboard player, went over and started talking to the guy. He goes, asked him if he was going to the show that night, and he said yeah, and asked him if he was a Tim McGraw fan, and he said yeah. He said, well, what would you say if I told you that Tim and his band members were out running and were lost and wanted to borrow $5 to buy some Gatorade? And it ended up we didn't buy Gatorade, but he gave us a ride back to the bus, so we didn't have to run another 6 miles to get back to the bus. And it was all because he had CMT stickers on his car. We'd have never asked him. And so that's part of what we do in the morning, is that we usually don't get lost. I mean, that was one instance we got lost. From now on, I think I'm going to lead, because I don't trust that guy anymore. I don't think you can survive in this business without learning from people. I mean, there's people out there that wouldn't be there doing what they're doing if they didn't have something to offer somebody. And I'm a fan of country music. I'm a fan of all the artists out there. I'm a fan when we open a show for somebody or somebody opens a show for us. I'm a fan. I like to see what they do. And if I quit learning from somebody or quit closing my mind, I think I know everything there is to know about this business. There's nothing else I can learn, then I won't be around very long. So of course I learn as much from anybody, their first video on CMT to somebody's first concert live. There's always something you can learn, and if you don't think you can learn anything, then like I said, you won't be around very long.
Episode from 1995 featuring Tim McGraw. You've been watching the best of CMT Showcase.